So we'll begin this week by starting the first 5 of the 16 panel pieces. These go on the dome. Usual procedure, 0.3 layer height. There will be some clean-up work to do, but they'll take about 6 hours to print. Okay, so always check your prints. The reason I'm saying that is because this one, it really didn't like the infill, so I'm going to have to reprint that one, and I think I'll just change the infill to about 20%. If that doesn't work, I'll just keep increasing it. So looking at these, the way you know is if you, there we go, give it a bit of a push and it's kind of collapsing in the middle. I don't know if that's because of my printer or if it's because of the print. It could be because of the supports. Now I've put the supports on the bottom like this. I have discussed about support placement. I think in hindsight it might be better to print them this way. Now I have actually done quite a few prints already, so it's too late for me to do. You'll see in future videos that the supports will still continue on the bottom. But I'm really not sure. I mean, this I think this is going to go actually. Yeah, look, yeah, that's really not. So these two are going to need reprinting. That one's, yeah, I think they've all gone. This one's fine. It's a small one. So what I'll do is I'll reprint these on another sort of off camera. I think that one's fine actually. That's going. So these three will need reprinting. So word of caution, infill, 10% infill is generally very good, and to be honest with you, the majority of my prints have been done on 10% infill, but I think where this is very thin, it's just really not quite enough. So these will need reprinting. It's a bit of a shame, but you know, these things happen, and these two I'm quite happy with. Okay guys, so let's get on with today's project. So hello there. Last week we began to sand the dome down, and the original plan for this week was to begin to put the body filler down. However, the problem I'm finding with this project, because I've got no instructions to follow as such, not like a part work where every week they give you an issue and they tell you what to do, and I've never built this before. I can only plan it in my head. So what I've noticed is if we now start to apply the primer, you'll see that I've put the bottom 2 rings on it. I'll explain why later. There's 2 problems I've come across. One is if we now start to apply the primer, it won't line up necessarily with the bottom rings. So we need to get these bottom rings sorted out. So I've got to kind of take a step back. So what we're going to do is we're going to get these rings done. The other problem that I've found is I've been playing with the base ring. Actually what happened was I popped something down on the table and I noticed that there was a wobble. You can't see it, but it's just ever so slightly off center, and I think the reason for that is that when we've welded it together with the 3D pen, because it's hot, it's melted the plastic, it's allowed the plastic to warp a little bit. So what I'm going to do this week is I'm going to be doing these rings. Now obviously we don't want these rings to warp, so we need to do 2 things. First of all, we need to keep them flat. Now as they're going to line up with the dome, I've actually bolted them in place. I'm not sure if you can see the bolts. It doesn't really take any skill to put bolts in, so I've already done it just to speed things up. But these have been bolted down as they're going to go, because they've got to line up there. Now that has actually shown up a few little warps, which is actually a good thing. So what we're going to do today is we're going to assemble the 2 rings, and we're going to do them in 2 stages. By bolting them to the dome, we can't get at all of the ring. So what we're going to do is we're going to bolt them, we're going to just get to the parts that we can reach, which is these outside bits. Then we're going to remove the rings once it's gone cold. That should then, hopefully, it will be that shape. As we remove them, we're going to mark them so that we know exactly where to put them back. And once they're removed, we'll finish off marking them. And my 3D pen, which I thought I would speed things up by warming up beforehand, has actually decided to switch itself off. So I'll get the pen warmed up and then we'll get on with doing the rings. Okay, so what we're going to do on this, here we have the dome, and you can see there that's where the joins are. And what we need to do is just fill those gaps in to seal it. Then we'll go around, we'll do the silver bits, and then we'll do the inside bits where we can. We've got to make sure that, for example, when we do this blue bit, we don't make contact with the silver parts, otherwise it will join the rings. One thing I just want to show you, which we can fix later on. You see this bit's got a little bit of a warp to it, maybe you can't see it so much, but this doesn't come straight across. That's fine, we'll fix all of that. There we go. So we've got a small warp there. There, you can just see it. So that, we didn't actually notice that at first, but it's not till we actually joined them. So what I'm going to do then is we will fix these, we will join these together. I'll do the blue part in full, and then I'll do the silver speeded up like I like to do, and then once I remove it I'll follow the same process. So exactly the same as before. We just want to get our nib in there, and we're actually going to melt the edges of the plastic and insert some more plastic. So nice slow speed, careful because this is very warm. I'll just turn that speed down a bit. So now I have seen some good videos on this, and it turns out that I'm actually doing this a little bit too quickly. So slowed down. Now you do get a little bit of a messier join, which is quite easy to clean, but you do get a much better join. Excuse the microphone wire in the way. There we go. So just get the pen in there beforehand, and that will just start to melt a little hole in there, which we can then pop the plastic in, and it's really that simple. Go, keep it nice and small, nice and slow, sorry. And then hopefully once I've done all the main bits, there we go, that's the outside done. So now we want to repeat the process for the inside, and this might be a little bit more difficult. However, what I'm going to do, it's reaching in, you see, but I'm actually going to use, I don't know if you can see, I've actually put my hand inside the dome. It's just the way that I'm finding it easier. So same process here, being very careful because these parts are touching the dome. There we go. And one thing that's going to make this a little bit easier, I'll show you in a sec. I may actually have moved my microphone. There we go. These have actually got risers on them, so let's see if I can get a closer up shot. There we go. See, you've got little risers on there, so it does create an air pocket there. So when we come to join them there, we won't actually need to do so much cleanup on them. We can leave that part scruffy because it won't be seen. Obviously it depends on how neat you want your project, but honestly I wouldn't bother with a part that no one's ever going to see. So and I think, oh no, this is the last but one. I thought this was the last one. And this is definitely the last one. So they're now joined from at the front and the back. So when we remove these, they should stay straight. So what I'll do now is I will crack on and I will get the silver parts done. Okay, so that's all the outer edges, or everything that's visible has been done. Obviously we want to do the whole joint. So I'm now going to have to remove the rings. And one other thing you may have noticed is on a couple of spots on the inside, I actually drew on the side. What I've done is I've done a mark. You can do it with a 3D pen, you can do it with a black marker, anything you want. But what I've done is I've made a mark on the lower ring, a mark on the upper ring, and a mark on the dome. This is so that when I remove the dome, because I'm making this to fit this dome. So obviously if I put the ring on the wrong way round, it may not actually fit. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove the bolts for this. I'm going to take the rings off, I'm going to finish the rings off, and then hopefully that will be this part complete. Now I have started putting music as backing tracks, and I'm trying to find something Star Wars related and humorous, and also something that isn't copyrighted. Obviously I don't want my channel shut down or strikes or videos removed. So I just want to ask the question, is that something that you want? Are you happy with any music? Should I just find a track every week and just pop it on? Or do you want to make some suggestions? Totally up to you guys. Or that, perhaps you want the same track every week. I did start off with 2 tracks. One track that I used for when I was 3D printing, and one track that I was using when I was doing something. Earlier on I played the track Easy Lemon, but they're totally up to you guys. So I'm going to crack on with this demo.
Hey Dak, you got that backing track? Turn it on. Oh yeah, go ahead, pump it up. I'd love to catch a firefly that's far away. I see your whole crew staring as I put this beat down. You're like a soup can, I'm like Superman. I saw Veronica, the girl that put you off class, cause you played harmonica in art class. I know you want her to, but you don't move cause you don't have any shoes. You touch a pom-pom, I touch an A-bomb. Aw yeah.
20 nights in the ice is a long time when there's hostels on the hill. It's not about what they want, you just gotta walk your walk. 20 nights in the ice is a long time when there's hostels on the hill. It's not about what you wear, it's all about where you are.
Oh look, it's a bad guy.
Don't worry about it, Darius, cause I'm a mile high and I'm the scariest.
I ride so hard, I got you tripping. You seeing how I'm flowing, not dripping.
I think you tripping,
I
dog.
pour sauce all up on your very nice pants. I like romance, you can't dance. Heart attack on deck, ain't got a chance. Kinda bright out, think I'll put your lights out.
20 nights in the ice is a long time when there's hostels on the hill.
It's not about what they want,
You just gotta walk your walk. 20 nights in the ice is a long time when there's hostels on the hill.
it's not about what you wear, it's all about where you are.
I wish I wasn't so dang sweet, so dang sweet, so dang sweet. I wish I wasn't so dang sweet. You are like cinnamon. I wish I wasn't so dang sweet, so dang sweet, so dang sweet. I wish I wasn't so dang sweet. You are like cinnamon.
Hey guys, what you doing?
Avoiding death?
Come again?
I'm avoiding death.
And I'm really freaking, thinking somebody's gonna shoot me.
You'll be good, bro.
I just wanna see a tree.
And you will.
Shame he won't be at the barbecue. Then again, I guess he is a barbecue. Technically, my lies are probably true. Tell your mama not to burn my shoes.
Sassy bad guy, what do you wanna say? Before my friend pulls your legs away. Cause pretty soon you'll literally be tripping.
Here comes a hot poker.
What we do is
Wrap it round, round, then we make it fall down.
You are like cinnamon.
I wish I wasn't so dang sweet, so dang sweet, so dang sweet. Wrap it round, round, then we make it fall down.
You are like cinnamon.
20 nights in the ice is a long time when there's hostels on the hill.
It's not about what they want, you just gotta walk your walk.
20 nights in the ice is a long time when there's hostels on the hill.
It's not about what you wear, it's all about where you are. And see if you can give it more bass. Hey, where's the music? Dak is dead.
I wish I wasn't so dang sweet, so dang sweet, so dang sweet.
It's not about what they want, you just gotta walk your walk.
I wish I wasn't so dang sweet, so dang sweet, so dang sweet.
It's not about what you want, it's all about Dak? Hey guys, I think Dak is a zombie.
Really, what do you mean?
I mean, he's a freaking zombie.
But wait, didn't your ship just get shot?
Yes, but zombie.
It is terrible.
Yeah, you think?
You are like cinnamon.
Hey guys, what you doing?
Avoiding death?
Come again?
I'm avoiding death.
And I'm really freaking, thinking somebody's gonna shoot me.
Okay, so I let these cool down, and what we want to do now is in the next few weeks we're going to start to shape these, sand these, and we're going to combine a few the dome and these. So what we need to do first of all is any bits that are sticky outy, can't think of a better expression than that. For example, where these parts are going to go together, the little lump that I've created by 3D penning, we just want to bring that down. So what I'll do is I will crack on with that, and I'm going to use my big metal file. I've used it before, and it's just simply a case of we just want to bring that down, so that once we do the heavy sanding with the electric sander, that will it'll make the job so much easier. As you see, with a heavy file, it's a matter of seconds, and you probably don't want to rub it too quickly because that's creating heat. There are some areas like here. I did put an awful lot of 3D little bit of plastic in. The reason for that is because it was actually a warp. So when we come to fill that with a filler, it's going to use it's going to be a lot easier. We've already got most of it already done. So I'm going to crack on with that, and then that should be the end of the main build for this week. So we finished this week up with 2 more pieces that we're going to print. These are MB base ring 1 pieces 11 and 12. Slightly misleading because they come out in 3 pieces, but that's fine. And this whole lot takes about 5.5 hours to print on my usual, what I'm now calling R2D2 settings, which is a fairly quick print with a 0.3 mil layer height, and yeah, that comes out, so about, well, should be less than about 6 hours. So this is piece number 11. Very happy with the way that came out. Just changed the light settings, a little bit too bright. So you see it's number 11, so this is the other half of it's an octagon. So quality very good on that. This is a 10% infill, but 10% doesn't seem to work for everything, but it's worked very well for this one. Now obviously, as you know, these are historical prints for me, and I can say that a couple of my prints that are coming up in the future, my printer was playing up, so you might see some poorer quality prints, so I may need to do some reprints. This is piece number 12, and just say it's 2 parts of a flat part, and these just go together really nice. You can't put these in the wrong way. Well, you can, but obviously then it looks a little bit daft. So what we'll do is we will have a look at how these will connect up, firstly to each other and then to the adjoining pieces. So this is piece number 11, and that will just simply slot into there. Slightly misleading because it lines up at the back on the inside and the front is a little gap, but that is how they go. You can tell from the numbers. So this will join up to piece number 10. I'm just going to remove this slightly just to make it easier to handle. So we can see we've got some locating pegs there and there and there and there, so they will join in nicely like so. And then obviously number 12 will go into number 1. Do you remember number 1? And there's the little locating peg there, and that will join in very nicely there. So when it all comes together, again, it's just, I really need to start sort of doing a much wider broadcast, but if I just bring my camera up, there we go. This is 2 weeks worth of prints, well, half of 1 week's print, half of another, and this week, and just on that part alone it just really adds so much volume. If you're desperate to build up the volume, perhaps print 11 and 12 first before we do, and then work your way 12 and 11, 10 to 9, and so on and so forth. But you know, I'm happy with the way we're doing this. We'll start to assemble this in a few weeks, I hope. That is the plan. However, this is an evolving project, so you know, we may end up changing the plan as we go. But on the whole, I'm really happy with this ring. So for costings, it's been a really cheap week this week. We started the week off with £9.81, and then we add on to that a £10 towards the budget. Now the lower panels, they cost us £2.11. There were no tools or fixings to use this week, and the final body pieces cost us £2.13. That brings our spending for the week to £4.24. So the balance that we carry over will be £15.57. Very happy with the spending this week. It's going to be the cheapest that we're going to have for a few weeks. But that's good, because we really need to start building that money up, because we have got some major purchases coming up in the future.